What's going on, YouTube? It's James Shine. Our Fantasy Battle Report's got another battle report for you today. It's the ETC round number 6. Guys, Amsterdam. This is it. This is the final one. Now, guys, I want to tell you right off the bat, this is probably going to be over an hour long. Okay? There's a lot to go through. There's a lot of video to go through, and there's also, closing everything going on. Excuse me. Now, first off, Aeroax Jorge was on our team actually as one of our sub captains. He came in at our coaches, I should say. He came in at the end of day 2, and he stayed for day 3 as our coach. He was a good energy. He's so new to it that everything excited him, and it was kind of fun to see somebody who had that sense of awe to him. So I gotta say, I know he's watching the video. Jorge, thanks for coming in and joining the team. Second off, we're gonna do a quick recap. Day 1, we lost to France and Netherlands. Pretty big. We were at the bottom tables. We were at the bottom table. I was at the bottom of the bottom tables. I was on table 8 of last tables. So, day 2, we ended up climbing back out of those tables. We ended up getting a big win against Portugal. We had a small win against Canada. We moved to the next day, day 3, which is this day. We played Finland, and we had a small win. It put us at 15th place. Now, if we finish strong here, we could get to the top 10. If we don't finish strong, we'll see what happens. All right? Anyways, Ukraine is one of those teams that just has our fucking number, though. That guy right there, that bald-headed motherfucker right there, ever since he's been on the team, they have beaten us. And that was in, was it? Not Novi Sad. It was in Serbia. And it was in Italy. I don't think we played them in Novi Sad, though. I don't remember who we played. I know we played like Montenegro and I want to say France, but I don't think we ever played Ukraine in Novi Sad. But in Spain, that guy wasn't on the team, and that was the only year that we won against Ukraine. Now, going over the Matrix, or before this, actually, before the Matrix, the night before, a couple nights before, we were hanging out with Ivan. Ivan has been part of, he's a Spaniard who used to live in Australia. He was on part of Team Australia for a bit. Then he came back to Spain, and I don't know. He is friends with Lucas. I've fought Ivan several times. I have a game against him in Croatia, and then I played him online a couple times to the point where he gets pissed off and rage quits. Usually it goes in my favor. There was dumb things like Crom doing a crush attack and killing his character, and or him leaving a flank open with a slot on the flank. But usually it's just dumb luck on my part. It's silver luck, man. It's silver luck. So, but Ivan right now is on the top points for highest demons. The next up was Lucas. Lucas, unfortunately, day 3, he didn't have a win on the first round. So Ivan is on top. Now, in my gut, I'm thinking as a captain, they protect Ivan so Ivan gets the match he wants, more or less, right? But at the same token, they have other good players on this team that they could protect as well. Now, going over the Matrix, I don't remember who was dropped first on my team. I'm just going to be straight up with you guys. I have the top 4 that were dropped. It was my brother, Chummer, Titty, and Orko. Now, Titty, or my brother's like, oh, give me Orcs and Goblins. I can handle Orcs and Goblins. And I'm like, dude, everybody can handle Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins is the one army on this whole list that everybody fucking can handle. You know why? Because Orcs and Goblins are easy to fucking kill, okay? Let's just be honest. I'm an Orc and Goblin player, and I'm telling you guys this. You can outshoot them, you can outmagic them, you can outfight them with almost every army, okay? So yes, everybody has Orcs and Goblins as a green match. It really depends on the player. The player who's behind the Orcs and Goblins can make or break the Orcs and Goblins, all right? But there's several red landmines. The KOE player and the vampire player are reds for most of us here. The infernal dwarf player was either orange or red for most of us here. And then, of course, the sylvan elf player. We had some yellows, we had some greens, but there was a couple reds and oranges on there as well. My brother ended up getting out, and I think they chose my brother for the Warriors of the Dark Gods player, but that just happened that way. Chummer, I think we ended up choosing. I think we threw out Chummer first, and we ended up choosing the mirror match. Part of the reason was to just to get the Infernal Dwarf off the table. If we could get the Infernal Dwarf off the table, which is my friend Scarlock, it could it would open up our matrix where it's a little bit more breathing room, right? Tinian ended up getting the Orcs and Goblins, and then when we threw out Orko, they threw out Ivan, and Orko was like, I'd rather not fight Ivan. I know how this match is going to go, and I'm putting it as a 10, but he'll probably win. So I was like, all right, fine. So we chose for Orko the Dwarven Holes, and the Dwarven Holes had Orko had as a green match. Titty had the Orcs as a yellow match, 10-10. Chummer had the Infernal Dwarf as a 10-10, but Jesse had the Warriors as green. So we have 2 greens, 2 yellows on our side, right? Now, going into the final 4, this gets a little complicated, and I don't remember the details. Again, this is 2 months ago. I do remember one thing. Number 1 is I'm thinking to myself, they are holding Ivan, okay? If I was them, I would hold Ivan because he is their best player. He is the biggest point scorer. He might not be the best player, but he might be the biggest point scorer this tournament. So you want to give him the match that you want to give him, right? As I'm thinking this, I want to say it was Tiddy and Orko. We were having a conversation, and they were saying, no, they're holding the KOE player. Now, if they hold the KOE player, I could get myself in a situation where it's KOE and VC, and I have those both as red matches, okay? Tiddy tells me we're going to have to sacrifice Johnny. If we sacrifice Johnny, it doesn't matter what Johnny's matrix says, Johnny is not showing points. Okay? So he understands his role. We throw out Johnny. Right? I am trying to get my players in the spots that I want them in. The number 1 player I have still in my hand that I need to protect is Gonzalo, and then myself. Alright? So we need to get Gonzalo the KOE. Now, they throw out Sylvan Elves. We throw out Johnny, right? We throw out Johnny, and I wanted to throw out myself, but I threw out full stack, and it was against my better judgment. We threw out Gonzalo ourselves. That's the card that they gave us 2 choices for. We throw out Gonzalo because we don't have to worry about Sylvan Elves. If it was Sylvan Elves, we just basically block it, and we take the other one. But I told this to Tiddy, if we drop Gonzalo and they throw out anybody but Sylvan Elves, Gonzalo's going to have a good match. I know even though he has an 11 on the vampire counts, he'll get more than 11 if he has 14 on the KOE. He'll get 14. And that's the one he wants. He's like, oh, I want the KOE. I'm like, I hope you get the KOE, man. I don't want to fight that guy, right? So in the meantime, I'm like, okay, if they throw out Sylvan Elves and we're throwing out Gonzalo, right? They're going to try to protect Ivan. So whoever we throw back for Sylvan Elves, Ivan's probably in their hand. If that's the case, I want to fight Ivan. I really want to fight Ivan. Because I like Demon Legions, and I know Ivan's a great player, but I will give Ivan a hard time. I have Pyromancy, I have a lot of shooting, I don't fear demons. I just don't. Right? So I'm like, let me have Ivan, Tiddy convinced me they are not holding Ivan. They're holding, I want to say his name's Christoph, the KOE player, the captain. Okay? So, I'm like, dude, they're holding Ivan. He goes, no, they're holding let's see, I'm looking up his name right now. Oh man, I cannot even say that name. That's why I don't say his name. Constantine. Castian. So he's like, they're holding their KOE, the Castian. All right. If they're holding their KOE, you will be screwed if they throw back. If we throw you down. He's like, it's better to protect you and Gonzalo by holding you and throwing Johnny in full stack, and whoever they get, they get. Okay. We get the cards back. They did not hold KOE. They threw out KOE and they threw out vampire counts, which means Gonzalo gets one, I get the other. Now, let's just be fair. Gonzalo's my point getter. Gonzalo's on top of the points right now for my team, right? I have to give him the match he wants, which is KOE. And also it helps me out because I don't want to fight KOE, which means I'm getting the red match of the vampire counts. Johnny got a green match against Sylvan Elves, but that's not really a green. And then Full Stack got Ivan, and it's just a mix. It's probably the right armies to fight each other, but it's not the right players. Ivan has a lot more experience than Full Stack, unfortunately. So going into this game, we have several matches that I kind of didn't want. to have. We have a couple greens, but we're going to see how this goes. Okay, let's go over. So you can see that's how the table looks. Sorry. All right, let's go over Magic. Magic. My opponent, for the record, my opponent is, I know his name is Gamba Gandalf. His name is Jan Ranu. Renau. I think he was German. I want to say he's German. But he was playing on this team. And, yeah. And it's understandable. Ukraine is under a war. So they couldn't really fill the whole team with players from Ukraine. For my opponent, of course, he's playing Vampire Counts. Vampire Counts, he has all this bullshit. He has Pentagram Pain, Rot Within, Ancestral Aid, Breath of Corruption, Dead Arise, Swarm of Insects, and Awaken the Beast. Let's go over his list really quick. Gabba Gandalf's. So he has a Zombie Dragon, of course. That's the Occultism with Reaper's Harvest, Curse Medallion, Potion of Swiftness, Monster Hunter, Mesmerizing Gaze. He has one Shamanism, one Evo, Courtiers. The Courtiers, one has Kingslayer, one has Destiny's Call. They're nasty little fuckers inside of a giant brick of skeletons. He has the Necromancer General. That's his general, excuse me, with Dead Arise. I don't even know where that guy was. I was putting the points in. I didn't even realize the general. I didn't even put his points in there. I think he's in a bunker of 20 skeletons. Anyways, but he is, he has Destiny's Call, Dragon Staff, whatever. He has 43 skeletons with a Flaming Standard, 43 skeletons with the Ether Icon, 21 skeletons with the Legion Standard, 8 wolves, an Altar of Undeath, Court of the Damned, Shrieking Horror. There's a lot of lists in ETC that kind of look like this. Zombie Dragon, Altar, Zombie Dragon, Altar, Shrieking Horror. It's kind of like that. Then you just got brick of skeletons that are just going to revive at a high cost. Right? Now, you can see these are his little wizards. I gotta see where that guy is, the general. Anyways, I thought he was in that back unit. Now, we're playing Counter Thrust. I want to say we are playing Flags. Yes, it is Flags. Flags is the one thing that I really do like because you have to get through my Stubborn unit, my Brick of Savages, or my 30 Goblins. Now, we're going Counter Thrust. I think I win the roll-off where I'm going to go ahead and drop all for first. It looks that way. It is. Okay. I just had to skip ahead a little bit. But we started doing the one-off, drop on the counter thrust. I want to say I dropped my Black Orcs first. Like, boom, there's my Black Orcs. And he had to basically... Excuse me. He had to deploy based on that. Now, I don't really remember exactly how it went. But as soon as I saw where his altars went, and I think that's what he did. He dropped off dog, first altar. When he dropped the first altar, I ended up knowing I could drop my pyromancy on that side. There's comments in the end of the video talking about that. So you can see this is kind of how I deployed. I got my 30 Goblin, the Horde in the left. I got my Black Orcs in the center. My Savage Orcs right there by the wall. My Trolls right next to them. And then in between the BGKs and General is the Trolls. Trolls can kind of just run forward. Koopa's on the far right side. You can't see him at the moment, but he's on the far right side just watching the flank. And my opponent goes ahead and drops like this. Now he drops his 4 big threats on the right side. Altar, Shrieking Horror, and the Zombie Dragon. Don't really care about the skeletons as much. He's cornering up. He's bunkering. I don't know why I'm yawning so much, man. Anyways... I'm tired, is what it is. Alright, turn 1! Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins, turn 1. Last game of ETC. Let's get this underway, guys. Let's get it on! Alright, so, I move my Grotlings up, I scout them up, I Vanguard them up, and I'm just kind of putting them in the middle of the field. I don't care. If he wants to charge me with his skeletons, so be it. You know what I mean? Koopa is sitting back. Now, Koopa's whole job right now is to keep the Shrieking Horror in check. If the Shrieking Horror moves forward, I don't want him to yell at Koopa for free. If he wants to yell at Koopa for free, he won't kill Koopa for free. So Koopa will kill him on the counter charge, right? I move my Savages, but what I'm doing right now, this is my game plan, 100%, is get rid of the altars. If I move in fast, the altars destroy me. If I don't move in fast, I can just kind of pick wounds, hopefully kill an altar. I have this as a 5. I don't feel comfortable fighting undead. I don't feel comfortable fighting armies that grow back at a high rate, is the thing. Alright, magic! Got a 7 on the flux. Go ahead and I do a fireball. Koopa's crown, by the way, had fireball on it. Alright, so I go ahead and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to double up on the fireballs and do cheap spells. So I do a fireball into the dogs, kill 2 dogs, but I put the attribute onto the altar, do a wound there. I end up getting a Scorching Salvo off. When I get this off, it ends up hitting the freaking same altar for 2 more wounds. And then I do 1 wound onto the Shrieking Horde, but I don't kill the dogs. My BGKs, though, will shoot on the shooting phase and wipe out the dogs. So that's basically it for me. That was turn 1. I thought it was successful. I'm earning points. I've already did 3 wounds onto an altar. I've already killed some dogs. Let's see what he does. Alright. Turn 1, Vampire Counts. He goes ahead and charges these dogs into my Grotlings. I kind of wasn't expecting this. I was kind of like, okay. But then he's like, we're just going to sit there, and I'll probably win. Which he's probably right. Over here, he starts measuring to keep these guys outside of 18 from the trolls. He doesn't want the trolls like making a dumb charge into them. But you could see he didn't want to move the Shrieking Horde into the trap of Koopa. Okay, he starts moving to the left towards my units with the zombie dragon and all his other units, and basically he's kind of keeping his distance because what he's going to do is he's going to start raising chaff. That's about it, though. I think the magic kind of flubbed for him this round. Turn 2, Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. As you can see, the dogs and the Grotlings, he killed off one of my Grotlings. He does a couple more wounds, but they're just going to sit there for a turn. I don't move forward. I'm still keeping the Shrieking Horde and the trap of Koopa, but I'm keeping a wide berth from the altars, both altars. Okay? Magic got a 2 on the flux. Go ahead, and I do a fireball into this fucking altar. And he's like, you keep picking fucking wounds on this. Leave it alone. And I'm like, here's the Pyroflow. And he tried to stop my Pyroflow. Couldn't stop it. And I blew up one of the altars. Woo-wee! When I saw him pick up the model and take it off, I was like, oh my god, thank God, I took care of one, and at this point, I'm just trying to calculate points. I'm like, all right, I got the dogs, and I got an altar. I'm in a winning spot already. Let's just hold it like this, you know? Over here, he ends up killing off my Grotlings, or he kills off one more Grotling. There's only one there left, and that's how the table looks. Turn 2, Vampire Counts. Vampire Counts turn 2. He wants to terror check my Goblins. So he starts to move closer. Oh, he does. He tries to charge me to cause terror. I'm like, I have a banner of discipline. He's like, well, if I can get you, you're at just outside of 17. You're at 18. If I get you, you're going to lose that unit, so I'm going to try. So he charges. He fails the charge. I stand and shoot. I end up putting 2 wounds on the stand and shoot onto that guy. But man, my heart dropped. I was like, "Oh shit!" You know, he's gonna push forward. I didn't think he was gonna push forward like that. He gets a Breath of Corruption on his magic phase. He's got an 8 on the magic phase. Puts a Breath of Corruption onto this guy. He will sacrifice some zombies. He does a wound onto Koopa. His dogs end up finishing off my Grotlings. That's how the table looks. He will reform them after he killed the Grotlings. And it's going to start off. And you can see he also raised a unit of zombies in between his 2 hordes. But that's how it looks right now. You know, he retreated with the Shrieking Horde, which is a good thing, but the Zombie Dragon came back to this side to deal with Koopa. Truthfully, he will kill Koopa, that general. Not the general, but the Zombie Dragon. It just will. You know, I could put a couple wounds onto it, but I'm not putting 6 or 7 on that guy. Anyways, turn 3, Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins turn 3, I'm going to charge these fucking dogs. Get them out of the fucking way. I don't care. Right now, the only thing that could charge into my Black Orcs is skeletons. And honestly, I think it's a flank charge here. So if I get into the flank with my Orcs, it puts me out of line of sight of his big unit anyways. And there's not much that can happen over there. Don't really have a good magic picture. Here we go. I do. I got a Pyroflow off. I end up doing 2 wounds. I end up shooting him with the freaking skewer as well, putting up a wound. Over here, I just pop the dogs. I know it's kind of going fast, but it's going to get kind of questionable soon. And honestly, these turns are actually taking a lot longer because we're just trying not to fuck up. Both of us. We're trying not to fuck up. All right. Turn 3. Vampire Counts. Vampire Counts turn 3. I'm going to go back a picture here. He has obviously failed the charge on this unit, right? Now, on my turn, you can't really see it because I didn't take a picture of the movement phase that well. But what I did was I took my goblins, I popped my relentless banner, and I moved behind my trolls. That fucking altar is tall or towering presence or whatever it is. So I don't really need to see. I will get a -1 from shooting through trolls into it, right? But at this point, if he's charging me, there's not much room to move back. Okay? And if he charges the trolls, he could probably just get into me, overrun into me, or whatever, right? If I don't hold a steadfast. So I move my goblins behind his trolls, leaving a small diagonal gap. He decides he wants to charge them. Now, whatever number coach call I'm about to say, or not coach, sorry, ref call, this is for the ETC. This is my last referee call for the ETC, by the way. My issue is he can't close the door. If I have to close the door, I hit my savages or my trolls, right? So I'm like, it's an illegal charge. He's like, yeah, but there's a rule stating if it's a block charge, you just have to pick it up and move it to the next available spot. So when I was at ETC in Italy, the same thing happened, and Manfro was the referee. It wasn't even my game; it was somebody else's game I was watching, and I said, the block, you can pick them up and do a block charge. He goes, yeah, but block charges only work on impassable terrain. This is not impassable terrain. So we call a ref. He calls his ref, I call my ref. We both get 2 refs, right? The funny thing is, the ref he called is on my side. The ref I called is on his side. So we have 2 refs here arguing about this. And I'm like, well, it says an impassable terrain. And then Bobanik was like, yo, impassable terrain. At this moment, this unit is acting as impassable terrain. I go, dude, that is not what it means. It means like a rock or a house. And then the other guy is agreeing with me, like, oh no, they won't be able to do this, blah blah blah. You can't, you're supposed to avoid abusive situations. And Bobanik's like, that's why this rule is in there, for abusive situations. So we don't have players doing this. And I'm like, I'm not abusing anything. I'm trying to put him in a spot where he cannot legally charge my goblins by hiding them behind trolls. Right? You could see this is Bobanik. Yeah, he's touching the models. But I think what happened is we marked the spot. And if we all did agree that he could clip the corner. But as I turn, I hit the trolls. Right, and it's impossible. It is impossible to close the door in this situation, right? So this goes on for about like 5 to 10 minutes. I'm not kidding. This is actually kind of hilarious to me. It goes on for about 5 to 10 minutes. A third referee shows up. And those of you who are there know who it is. The little Polish guy with the glasses. And he goes, what are we even talking about? And then I'm like, he's saying this, we're saying this, I'm saying this, he's saying that, And he goes, guys, if you read what block charges says on the first line, it says move the unit straight forward. He goes, this isn't going straight forward. This is turning. And if it can't touch the unit going straight forward, this problem doesn't even exist. And we were all like, oh. Oh my god. Anyway. So he can't do that charge. It's fine. It's fine. What he ends up doing, since he can't make the charge, is he decides to put everything into Koopa. He puts the zombie dragon, the shrieking horror, the altar all into Koopa, and he's going to try to assassinate Koopa in one turn, which he might. Magic, he gets a Breath of Corruption up, and he heals his fucking altar back to full. Shooting, he does the Breath of Corruption, ends up doing 5 fucking wounds. 5 fucking wounds. Shrieking Horror ends up popping fucking Koopa's head. Boom! And, yeah. That's... Unfortunately, I'm going to just hold it on this page. That's the last we'll see of Koopa. For a long time, I should say, because unfortunately the new book doesn't really give us a good use for Koopa. The new book doesn't allow the character on top unless the character's the general, and things like this happen. It's not very friendly towards a character on a spider that is the general. You lose your general like that. Anyways, I'm going to miss you, buddy. You did really good this tournament. You did really good in general. Anyways. My turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 4, I think this was. And at this point, as you can see, I don't even have my movement line of sight arc. There is a good story about this line of sight arc that I'm missing, by the way, come the next tournament, which is in Canada, which is a totally different continent. All right, but anyways, on 3, 2, 1. Wog! I wog. Now, I charged the goblins off the hill into these zombies, or these skeletons that are in my way. I charged black orcs into the skeletons that's in my way. It is flag scenario, by the way. Okay? I'm going to beat skeletons up. I don't care. You know? The main thing I was worried about is like a steadfast or whatever, right? But the goblins are going to break that if the goblins get in. I'm cool with that. The black orcs are going to rip these guys apart. One of the things I figured out with black orcs, and this works for the new book and the old book, is their weapon skill 6 with paired weapons, but against like weapon skill 2 skeletons or rats, I'm hitting them on 2s and wounding them on 2s. The new book wounding them on 3s. That's a lot of attacks hitting on 2s though. I keep the trolls back, and as you can see, I move my goblins into a straight line like this, but further back. That little square tray there is the one that we were trying to show if they could do the wheel with the fucking charge arc, which just stayed on the table for a turn. I move my savages like so. One of the things I'm worried about is his skeleton brick right there. But he, as you can see, he's using the zombies as chaff, so I couldn't really move my savages too much into it. But at the same token, that zombie line is, I believe, as long as I reform properly with the black orcs, he can't even charge that brick into my black orcs, so I'm fine there. Just trying to keep my distance, trying to kill off that last altar. Alright, Magic got a 6 in the flux. Go ahead and I do a Scorching Salvo, and boom, I pop that fucking altar. Fuck that thing. Fuck it up its stupid ass. Alright, guys, as soon as he pulls off the second altar, I'm like, I'm fucking doing great. Yes, I lost Koopa. Yes. Now I'm worried that these 2 flyers, I have nothing to zone them. They're going to come in and just scream and bitch and do everything they need to do and just nag me to death. Alright, over here, the Black Orcs, I end up fucking wiping out almost all of his fucking skeletons, but he crumbles down to just 4 are left. Just 4. I'm going to be stuck there for a turn. It's fine. Turn 4. Turn 4, he does this charge. He charges his brick with his 2 or 3 vampire lords in it, and the what is that called? The fucking thingamabobber. Is this the Court of the Dam? That's what it is. Charges the fucking Court of the Dam in. He needs an 18, and he gets it. This is ugly. This is really, really, really ugly. Oh my god. Boom! Like so. Now, he loses 9 guys into the ruins, which is fucking funny, actually. He chaffs me here. So when my Black Orcs finish off these last 4 skeletons, what's going to happen is I can't turn to face that big brick that just hit the trolls, because his skeletons are right on my ass. Alright? And you could combat pivot, but you can't combat reform charge. Okay, so I'm going to be stuck in this scenario right now with my Black Orcs. Okay? Alright. He conga lined these zombies that he raised, and they just get in the way of the savages. So there's just no way in hell of protecting this right side. The right side, he has it down. He just rammed these trolls, and he has a flaming banner. Motherfucker, man. I really did ask people, like, what do you have that's flaming? But every fucking, you want to know why I don't want to take trolls in the new book? I took trolls in this book right here, this old book, and I loved them because they could go through armor 10, They can auto hit if need be, because people love to do debuffs that are like, aha, you're -1 hit and I have parry and you're hitting me on 5s or 6s or some bullshit. Oh, your weapon skill 3. So I can appreciate that I had an auto hit, auto wound. And if not, I have a lot of attacks, 3 attacks apiece, which is average because Minotaurs have like 4, maybe 5 with battle focus. Other big 40mm models all usually have 3 to 5 attacks. Okay? The new book, they have 2. Yeah, they have that new thing where if you fail a regen, you get an extra attack. Okay? But the main thing is, everybody brings a fucking flaming banner. I swear to God, as I was going through ETC, almost every fucking army had a flaming banner. And this is just crazy. Crazy to me. Jesus Christ. Anyways. They're like, oh, they're such an anvil. They're not going to be an anvil when everybody has a fucking flaming banner. Magic got a 5 on the flux, goes ahead and he does Ancestral Aid here, and then he ends up getting Breath of Corruption. Close combat, he does, I want to say 9 to 10 wounds, okay? Now, I'm going to do this math for you real quick, okay? Let's just say he did 9 wounds, because I don't have a counter there. So he has a charge, 9 wounds, that's 10. He has at least 3 ranks. He doesn't have the Legion banner, because he has the Flaming banner. And he doesn't have a BSB. Okay. So he has a charge, 9 wounds, 3 ranks, banner. So he's at 14 combat res. I want to say it was 15. I want to say something else gave him 15 combat res. So I'm looking at this. Now, he has 2 characters up front. I could just try to put all my attacks into the characters, at least earn points for the characters, right? I started doing the math. I'm sitting there like, okay, he did this many wounds. And this literally is the most I've ever thought about doing an attack ever. Okay? Because I'm sitting there like, he has 14 combat res. I got 5 trolls left. 5 trolls, 3 attacks apiece. I'm hitting them on 3s because they're only defense 2 skeletons. Okay? So if I'm hitting them on 3s with 15 attacks, there's a high chance I do like, say, 10 hits. I'm wounding him on 2s, so I should be able to do like 9 wounds, right, or 8 wounds. And then I got 4 stomps. With the 4 stomps, I might be able to get about 13 to 14 combat res. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to hit the skeletons. I'm not even going to fuck with the characters. I'm going to hit the skeletons, wound the skeletons. I literally lose combat by 1. I roll, my general's right there, my BSB's right there, and I stick. And I am going to hold there for a turn. And it's turn 5. Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins turn 5. I charge the Savage Orcs in to get rid of these motherfuckers. Obviously, my Black Orcs finish off the Skeletons. They're going to go ahead and charge into that unit. What I do is I charge the Goblin Horde into the flank of that conga line he created, mainly for this reason, because I have a feeling that if I charge with the Black Orcs and I get a front charge, move my general in, kill 5, maybe get like 4 more kills, right? I don't kill him enough where he'll just hold and then he'll rebuild and put me and basically pin me down. So if I get the charge flank, big flank, and all that with the extra combat risk from the Goblins, I'll pop the unit, right? Charge the Savages here just to get rid of these zombies. I'm feeling that the Savages are about to get charged by that unit that's fighting the Trolls. Alright, don't really have a magic at the moment. What I ended up doing was I ended up bailing my characters. Here's this picture. I ended up bailing my characters, my BSB and my Wizard, out of the Forest Goblins. My reason for doing this, and I could have done it a little bit different, is if he overruns to chase the Trolls, he hits the Forest Goblins, he's stuck. But there's no characters in there, right? The characters are spread out. I just have to stop his Breath of Corruption, whatever, right? But if he wants to charge, terror check me or whatever, it's going to waste a charge. And basically, as you can see up on the left side, the Pharaohs, the Black Orcs, the Goblins are all ready to come on into that unit, okay? So, combat, he does wipe out my Trolls. Obviously, you see the picture. There's only one fucking Troll there. I can't do enough wounds back. I think at this point, I'm just like, let me try to hit this character, right? I failed to do so. He ends up causing the panic because the Troll runs. The Forest Goblin fail their fucking staying roll. Their leadership 6. They run off the table. When they run off the table, they run through my Wizard. and fucking Baxter, the pyromaniac, runs off the fucking table. Oh my god. The only one who doesn't run is Bazooka. You know why Bazooka didn't run? Because he has the banner of discipline on him. He can't panic. It puts me in such a bad spot. I was doing so fucking good, and then that happens. He turns. It's gonna start off his turn. Vampire counts turn 6. He charges here. This bolt thrower, of course, he does. And what he does next shocks me. And I think he took a timeout to do this. But what he does is he bails his characters out and uses them as chaff. I was so confused by this. I'm thinking to myself that if he goes with that skeleton unit to my savages, he's going to cause me to run. He's going to have ranks, all this bullshit, whatever, right? Because let's be honest, you know, the trolls at least had a 4-up armor against his spears. So I armor saved so many, you know? In this scenario, the savages are butt-ass naked, and we're playing flags. But he decided to walk away. He dropped 2 pieces of chaff and walked away from me. Huh. Okay. He moves this shrieking horror over here, trying to cause terrors and panics. And he also wanted to make sure that my general doesn't charge out alone into that rear of that unit. Alright. That is what it is. Magic, he gets a 1 on the flux, creates a unit of zombies here. I just kind of let it go. Turn 6. Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins turn 6. I'm going to just kill these motherfuckers. Why not? Why not? Charge! Charging it with the Goblins, or charging it with the Savages, charging it with the Black Orcs. And I don't charge the Goblins in because that would be suicide to go against the Terrorgeist. And again, you can see he's just made sure that he put nothing where nothing could overrun it into anything. Bazooka's alive. He's running around the bottom side trying to shoot these zombies that just came in. I'm just like, just shooting at them because he's going to still try to make that charge. And if I could kill someone with his Mazazap, another item that I'm going to miss in the new book, I am going to at least kill a couple there, and then when he charges, I can stand and shoot, kill a couple more. And then Bazooka actually is an okay unit. He's a toughness 4. He has poison. And like another thing I'm going to miss in the new book. He has a couple of tools, and he's also with a shield. So he has light armor shield. He'll fight some zombies. I don't care, or skeletons, whatever these are. All right. That's how the table looks. I'm going to go ahead and pop both characters. His Strigoi here ends up dying to... he kills 2 of my guys, but I end up just... I fuck his ass up. And the other thing, too, is he gave me his rear, which I thought that was weird because if he turned around the other way, at least he had a chance of not having a big rear charge. But I have charge, big rear, banner, 3 ranks, and then I think I just killed him outright, though. I think I just did 3 wounds to him. But he was a tough little motherfucker. Over here, same thing. I was able to turn off just Destiny's Call with the Mechanox Totem, another item I'm going to miss in the new book. And I turned off his Destiny's Call, and I just shanked the guy. I think I challenged. And I was just like, yeah, I'm just going to challenge and kill you. And I basically turned like this. Goes off his last turn. Turn 6! Vampire Coven. Vampire counts, turn 6. He charges his zombies here. He fails that charge. He charges here, hoping to cause a terror check. I hold. And nothing really happens. I think over here he charges into my skewer. Skewer's going to die. And then he turns these guys around just to have a final picture. Magic, he gets 7 on the flux. Nothing really happens. And he kills a couple of my guys here, but I don't even pop him. What ends up happening is I ended up taking the objective. Between him killing my trolls, Koopa, and my wizard, and my fucking BGKs, it came out to a 10-10, but I got the objective. So I ended up getting 13-7. The point difference was literally like an 80-point difference. I have 2,100. He has 2,050. Yeah, it was a pretty close game, closer than I thought, and I actually won, which that I was like, I put it down as a 5. He's like, I put you down as a 0. I go, really? He goes, yeah. He's like, he was scared of the Mechanox Totem. I was like, that is crazy. That is crazy to me, and you're going to see that interaction right now, actually. It's a long interaction, though. What's going on, man? Do you want to explain to the world who you are?
I'm Jan Ranau. I'm from Germany, Cologne.
All right.
And my name on 9th age is Gabagandalf.
How do you say that?
Gabagandalf.
Gabba Gandalf.
Yeah, I think only the Germans will know what that's about.
How would you describe the game went?
I had it down as a 0.
You had it at 0?
Yes.
I had you as a 5.
Really?
Yes. I thought I was gonna lose.
Yeah, I had an issue with the Mickey Nox totem because I don't really want to fight the Iron Orcs with the dragon.
Yes.
And I can't really kill your general to make them unstubborn because you just switch off my weapon.
Yeah.
So that's really, really tough, and I don't have anything to really crack that unit.
I still think dicing it, if you would have gone into my general, I think you still win. You got the Thunder Stomp, you have the Breath, you have a lot of attacks. I honestly thought you were going to fly over there and start going that way.
No.
Never happened. I struggle against vampires. Most people know this. I struggle against vampires because there's those units that I just can't pop. I can't get them to just
Instant
regrow.
die, yeah?
And they just regrow. I die, you don't. You know?
But Umbrella was a really nice game, man.
I was surprised you put your altars by my pyromancy.
Yeah, those were my second and my third drop, so your pyromancy wasn't even there yet.
That's right. That's true. That's true. I forgot about that.
And then I mean they're gonna zone on one of the two flanks. I didn't know where Koopa was gonna go at that point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's always a question of where the Shrieking Horror and the Dragon.
Koopa just died of boredom over here.
Yeah, he did. We were just looking at one another, the Dragon and Koopa.
Yeah, he fucking.
And then the Shrieking Horror.
You assassinated him in one turn, man. One turn just.
But I mean, I invested
everything.
Horror, magic, exploding.
I knew that was going to happen, and that's why I was like, well, let me just get the objective.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. I was like, he's going that way. I'm just going to take the objective on this side. I got those 2 units, and let's see what happens. You know, I didn't know how it was going to go, though. You know, and honestly, I thought you were going to turn them and charge into the goblins, or, you know.
Yeah, I mean, my teammates for the timeout said I shouldn't go any risks. That's why I turned them around and ran away. Yeah. I mean, there would have been the option to turn them and charge the
but then you lose.
Savages.
But you lose like 18.
I get impacts, and I have a ton of strength 6, strength 5 attacks. So I think a lot of the Savages die. I don't have that many attacks because I'm only 5 wide. Yeah?
I get a lot of attacks. I got just assume you kill. How many on impacts? Let's see.
Let's say 2
to 3. Okay, say 3. And how many attacks on your 2 vampires?
8 attacks.
8 attacks.
6 and strength 5. Okay. 4 attacks, strength 6. 5 attacks, strength 5.
Okay.
And 6 attacks, strength 5 on top from the ladies.
Okay.
So I mean that's a lot of attacks.
Okay, so that's about 10. So that's like 13. Okay. So 13 out of 28 savages. Okay. I still have. What was that? 16 or something like that. The front rank is giving you 13 attacks. Mm-hmm. The next rank's another 6. So that's 19 attacks. And then however many left in the back. And I'm going to do the same thing I did with the trolls. I'm going to get all into the skeletons and just hold there, and then I'm getting help with the other units.
Yeah, I would have had to redirect it. That would have been kind of impossible because I didn't have any chaff.
Chaff left, yep.
And you just dispel my raise, and then it would have been really, really risky. I would have had to use the freaking horror to chaff. I don't think it would have been really that good. Yeah. Those trolls holding that one moment like saved your ass a bit.
I know. That was the only time I've ever math hammered. I was doing the fucking number crunch in my head, like, oh shit, can I do this?
But I think otherwise it would have been also a draw because you still get the scenario. I don't get any scorers.
Right before that, I was thinking about killing your characters. Yeah. I was just like, kill a character at some point, I'm gonna lose. But
I think it was a better decision. Otherwise, you lose big. I might lose one vampire. I mean, they still have a 4-up region.
I know.
The ward,
and then they're tough forward. I was like, I'm not going to actually kill them. And then when I was looking at it, I was like, maybe I just kill skeletons and hold for a turn. I didn't care about losing the trolls, obviously. But yeah. Anyways, my last game with the old ONG.
That's true. Yeah, I'm going to be really sad that this book is gone because I thought it was one of the best books of the Ninth Age world, to be honest. So I really hope that new Orc book, when it gets some updates, it's still going to stay cool,
Yeah,
at the moment it's not there yet.
I'm honestly like asking myself, do I want to play Asklanders back home?
No.
You know what I mean? At least they have trolls that puke still.
I've never even looked at the Asklander army. That's why I guess it's dope that they ask about what's going on there.
Yeah.
You always have to ask.
I'll just call them Orclanders.
Orcland, yeah. No, I really hope that the new Orcs still become like a big especially the orcs become cooler.
Yeah.
But,
It was a pleasure meeting you and a pleasure playing you. I know I shook your hand like 5 times already, but...
definitely. But it was...
Oh, we got a hug too because we had penis
yeah.
dice. Yeah. Show him the penis dice. What country was it?
We got this from a Dutch guy. If you see this video, thank you very much. 2 penises encountered one another and we hugged, yeah?
Yeah.
So, mission accomplished.
All right, man. Thanks again. I'll cut it out right there. Peace.
All right, guys. There's a lot going on in that video. Number one, you can see Andrew Ratman and my brother Neil going out for a smoke break, which I found hilarious as I just rewatched that video. Second off, I had no idea that I was supposed to hug somebody with a penis dice, but he was like, "You have a penis dice, I have a penis dice. You're supposed to hug each other." I was like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "We'll do it later." And then, as I said, it was kind of bittersweet as I was making that video because I knew that was it. That was it. The last time I get to play that version of the Orcs and Goblins. I have been playing the new Orcs and Goblins. I'm not gonna lie. I've been playing the new Orcs and Goblins. I contemplated going to Asklanders, like I mentioned in the video. I started making a list for Warriors of the Dark Gods and Warriors of the Green Gods. You know what I mean? Because at least they could fight, and at least they could have decent magic, alchemy, and all that kind of stuff. You know. But I promised Balden that I would give it a shot, the new Orcs and Goblins, and I have. I'm giving it a good college try. I have been playing a lot of different lists, but what I'm trying to do is not number one. You guys know me from who've watched my channel for ages. I don't play net lists. I just don't. I am the net list. I make my own lists, right? Now, one of the things is in the net list right now are all goblin heavy. A lot of goblin heavy because a lot of people, the goblins in the new book got buffed pretty much. So I'm trying to do a mixed list. I'm trying to make it work for orcs and see what's the problem with orcs. Why aren't orcs working the way that they're supposed to with a sprinkle of goblins? Because it's orcs and goblins, not goblins and not orcs. So I am trying. But it was sad. It was sad to see, like, that was it for Koopa. That was it for Poison Attack, Shady Shanking, Shady Shanking, not Shady, sorry, Shieldbreaker. That's it for Shady Shanking too, though, and Mechanox Totem, and Plate Armored Iron Orcs, and Stubborn Unit Iron Orcs, and Strength 5 Savage Orcs, and Creepers with a Magical Banner, and like, basically, the Trolls, my whole list is just gone. And I have to make something totally new. Now, I'm not going to lie, and it's not all negative. I am enjoying making a new army. Okay? I'm enjoying painting the models. I'm enjoying creating Iron Orc chariots and stuff like that. That's fun for me. That is actually part of the fun of the hobby, was just to play the hobby. Second part about this being bittersweet is this is probably one of my last ETCs, if not the last ETC I go to. Amanda and I are getting married. That's the first thing that gets brought up. And that costs money. And that's probably going to be money for us next year. We were trying to set up a loose date by May, but I think we're postponing it a bit. But it costs a lot of money to go to ETC. And for me, every year, it's been dwindling returns in enjoyment. And I'm just being honest with you. I mean, yeah, I fell off a fucking mountain in Italy. Part of, in my opinion, this is all my opinion, guys. This has nothing to do with who runs it or whatever. Even though they have issues with people who run things sometimes. But ever since Corona, the one ETC before Corona was Serbia, right? And that one was probably my last one that I had a blast. And I mean a fucking blast. From the town, the food, the enjoyment, the weather, the people that were on my team. Okay? This year, a lot of those things were in the negative. It rained the whole fucking time. The venue, it was 3 separate rooms, so we didn't get to enjoy the company of other teams. And just to give another example, in Spain, when we went to Spain, in Salamanca, everything was in this little town square. So you could see another team just eating dinner there and then go hang out with them if you wanted to, which we did. We hung out with the Spaniards and the Australians in the 1 year. And this is even before I met Gonzo. I think I met Gonzo that day, and Ivan. And Ivan gave my dad a steak. But there's a lot of camaraderie that was lost. And one of the biggest issues here for me is even here, I wanted to hang out with Hermanard. I wanted to. He's my friend. He's my such a fucking good friend to me all year round. Okay. And I didn't get a chance to hang out with him once. Why? Because it costs about $50. I'm sorry, €50. Not even dollars. Dollars, it's more. To take a fucking taxi to get to the center of town where all the food and everything is, right? And that's only one way, and coming back the other. So it was kind of a stressful environment, and the amount of stress to get the team together, to get it's been diminishing returns for me, unfortunately. I did have fun. It's not all negative. I did have fun. I do have fun going to this. I do enjoy the team games. Team games are way fucking better. And every year since I first made the team in Spain till this year, I enjoy the people I go with. Part of me misses the people who are not here this year. And it's impossible. It's impossible to make an 8-man team that's not the same exact team, every fucking year. Some people stopped playing the game. Some people got poached by other teams. It's impossible to keep the group together. Some people aren't there financially. So it was a little bit of a tough decision, but I was just like, if I have to just step back from ETC, I'm still going to enjoy the game. I'm still going to play the game in the States. You know what I mean? But between Old Worlds coming out, between the price of ETC, between the enjoyment for me going down, it just felt like the right time to retire from ETC. Anyways, guys, now going on to the finale of the ETC. Now, let me see if I can pull this up really quick. Team rankings. In third place, which was actually a shock for a lot of people, was Norway. Now, we made this joke, okay? We made this joke about Norway because every time Mexico plays Norway, we have beaten them. We are undefeated against Norway. And as you can remember, I think our last year at Italy, they were our last round. And we crushed them, and it catapulted us to top 10. So we made the joke that because we didn't give them a road bump because we did so poor, they ended up getting into third place, which I'm so happy for all of them. They have been a great team to practice against, spar against, talk to throughout the year. As you've seen, I played Sigborn at Kansas, and Carl Eric's always having conversations with me and the guys in Mexico, as well as Hermanard. And it's a great time. Second place ended up going to be Spain. Spain, unfortunately, they were supposed to bring my guy Charlie on the team. Charlie didn't join our team because he wanted to go on Spain. And then last minute, Charlie couldn't make it, which is, I'm a little sad about that as well because I would have loved to have seen Charlie. But they ended up getting second place. And then first place went to Team Italy. Now, for some of you who weren't there, there's a lot of you that were there. There's an inside joke that Hermanard sang 2 songs. Okay? One of the songs was to poke fun at Furion, that made a video talking about, and if you guys want to, I'll probably get the link to it, but the video is all the teams that Furion's team Germany would beat, and that just didn't happen. So Hermanard singing this song was just kind of funny about that. The other song was actually to Amanda. Because Amanda and I, when we were watching The Witcher when it came out, she couldn't stand the fucking song, Toss a Coin to Your Witcher. One of my teammates, Euron, got wind of that, and he has been haunting her for like the last, 3-4 years and posting it wherever he can. He knew that he asked Hermanard if he can to troll Amanda, and Hermanard did it in great fashion. Here's that video.
Toss a coin to your wisher, a brand of humanity.
You know, I gotta say that there was going into this team, there was new players. Full Stack was one of my new players. I think Full Stack has great potential. He has a great mindset, and he's very positive. He was a great addition to the team this year because he was just such positive energy. He is fucking hilarious. He did not do so good, though. Going into the Ukraine game, just to let you guys know, because I just kind of jumped ahead, we ended up losing. Didn't get capped, but they got 99 points to our 61. All right. What ended up happening was my brother ended up losing big. He got 0 points against the Warriors of the Dark Gods. George ended up losing big against Scarlock. I believe there was a dice roll that all I remember was motherfucker or fuck yeah or some shit like that, and you could just see how pissed George's face was. They almost went at it. Amanda was like, dude, they look like they're gonna fight. And I gotta ask Scarlock, because I talk to Scarlock on UB sometimes. I'm just gonna ask him what the fuck happened. I haven't asked. I haven't really even thought about it, to be honest. Little Cow lost to my buddy Titty. Titty kicked Little Cow's ass, got 15-5. Lucas got a 10-10, unfortunately. Johnny got a 4 against Artem. And I think Artem was the guy I played last year on Italy. Ivan, the demon player, beat the crap out of Full Stack. Full Stack only got 2 points. I wanted Ivan. Ended up winning 13-7 against this player, and then Gonzalo ended up getting a 13-7. Gonzalo came up to me and was like, James, like the first 5 seconds of the game, he goes, can I shake his hand for 13-7? I go, no, don't shake his hand for a 13-7. Get the points. You said you're going to win, get a big win. And he goes, he's going to sit in the corner and avoid me. I was the table next to Gonzalo, and I watched the guy sit in the corner and avoid him, and they ended up getting a 13-7 anyways. And he's like, James, you could just let me take a nap. I was like, God damn it, man. Oh, that sucked. Anyways, so yeah, we ended up losing. Ukraine has our number. They are the almost undefeated champs against Mexico. We did have 1 win against them. I'm just going to hold that against them. As for my teammates, and like I said, this video is going to be really long because I have a lot to go through, and it's going to take me a little while to edit this too, by the way. As for my teammates, let's start with the bottom. We have Full Stack. His Matrix, he was much more, and this is partially my fault because I had a lot higher hopes for his list. He was negative 43 on his Matrix. Negative 43! He was the lowest on the Matrix. He did come back with 28 points, which is not the lowest amount of points we got, by the way. By one less point is Johnny. Johnny ended up getting negative 37 points on the Matrix, but he had 27 points total. So Johnny has the lowest points, but Full Stack had the lowest Matrix. Johnny, unfortunately, I didn't spend much time with Johnny. He was a last addition to the party, Look at me, I'm talking D&D. He's the last addition to the team. We lost some of our normal mercs that we'd taken every year. Some of them were poached on other teams, and then some of them couldn't make it because Euron had a kid. And because of that, we took Johnny. Johnny was a friend of Lucas's, and so we took him, and I don't have a problem with Johnny. He was really disappointed. He beat himself up. I didn't have to beat him up about his list and about how he played. But he filled the spot when we needed a spot. It was really hard to find that mercenary. And then Johnny did talk Titty into coming to his last ETC with us. Okay. Full Stack, on the other hand, Full Stack filled in our Mexican slot, and Full Stack, like I said, he was just great energy. He got 28 points. We've had players who got less than that, so I'm not even mad at him for that. I think with some practice, he would be a great player. My brother ended up getting third to last there. He got negative 27 on his Matrix, but he did get a respectable 47 points. So it's a 20-point difference between Johnny and my brother. 47 points is respectable. If he would have got his win this round, he would have been at 60, no problem. But unfortunately, this game he came back with a 0, which cost him big. His Matrix wasn't doing bad until this game, so he would have been probably like negative. Honestly, if he would have got his Matrix, he would probably have been like negative 10, maybe. But he ended up getting negative 27 on the Matrix and 47 points total. I give my brother a lot of credit for his improvement. He's improved greatly this year versus last year. He's playing a list that he enjoys playing, which is a big difference, and I see it now because he enjoys playing even after ETC. We went to Canada, and he was just excited to play his list. Chummer, Jorge ended up getting negative 17. Chummer got not thrown under the bus, but he got thrown out first a lot. And we gave him tougher matches, and he kind of, he said it straight up like that. He said, I know that when I see this video, he's going to show that how his Matrix was so skewed, and it's true. It's negative 17 on the Matrix, but he did come back with a total of 54 points. So some of those Matrix wins, or not Matrix wins, I'm sorry, some of those Matrix numbers are a little bit exaggerated, but he still came back with points. Myself, I was actually shocked when I did this. My Matrix ended up being a 1. I became out 1 point higher than what I've expected to come out with, based on the matches I got set up with. Even though I set up my own stuff, I ended up getting 62 points. I had 4 wins, 2 losses, and the 2 losses were big losses. If I would have had closer to what I thought I would do in those, I'd probably be around 80 points. I thought I would get a 7 on Eirik and a 14 on the Dread Elf, Ekar, whatever his name is. But unfortunately, that just didn't happen. I ended up getting 62 points. It's a respectable number. I've done better, and I've done worse. Titty, for his last ETC experience, Titty's also retiring going into Age of Sigmar. Titty ended up getting 8 points over his Matrix, and he ended up getting 71 points total. Next up is actually our top Matrix scorer, which is Lucas, Super Orco. Super Orco got 10 points over his Matrix. He got a total of 82 points. I was trying to push Orco to get into that 100-point round, but the last 2 games he got 10-10'd, and it kind of just lowered how much he would get. Even if he got 3 points more on each game, that would have still put him at like 88, almost 90. But he did great, and honestly, Orko mentioned that he would be interested in coaching, or not coaching, being a ref next year, or a coach. But we'll see what happens with Orko. I'll keep an eye on him, of course. And then finally, we have Gonzalo. Gonzalo, he's been an addition since Italy, and he also came in this year. Gonzalo is our top point scorer. He could have got more, probably, but he didn't want to. But anyways, he got a total of 8 higher on his Matrix, and then he has a total of 85 points. But yeah, going through the pictures of the teams from the years past, it's been a journey to go through all these ETCs with my friends. And I'm going to be sad to miss it. I'm going to be sad to miss it this year coming up. But yeah, like I said, I gave my reasons why I probably won't come back for the time being. As for my models, their last experience in 9th Age before they get changed to the different rules, the Grotlings were by far the worst. They got 275 points for helping a Orc unit kill. Oh no, I'm sorry, they have more than that. They have, hold on a second, this didn't add together. This number and this number equal, come on, where's that little sum button? There it is. 328. So they have 328 points, but 275 was the fight with the demon player where they combo charged with the orc. So I count that. The skewers end up getting in. What let's see. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th place. Skewers ended up getting 1,000 points. They probably got a little bit more than 1,000, but I didn't really do a good job at keeping track of every shot of the skewers in the pictures, unfortunately, so it's hard for me to gauge where the damage came from.
BGKs ended up getting 7th place. They ended up getting 1,400 points, 1,408. Like I said, if you put the BGK's number with the Baxter's number, they end up becoming the top scoring unit in my, or top damaging unit in my entire list. Unfortunately, this list takes a hit, or this unit takes a hit in the new book. You could take neophytes that are skirmishers. They don't have the banner. You would have to buy a banner from the Goblin character, but then there's no Mazazappa, there's no quick to fire, there's no bows in the creepers, and yeah, like I said, the unit just takes a hit. It's just not even worth it. It's better to come up with something different. Unfortunately, that kind of just it saddens me, because it was a unit that I kind of just made on my own with the rules that were available, and it just kind of made it my own. The Trolls are next in 6th place for 1,600 points, 1,680 to be honest, to be exact. And the Trolls, they did solid. They didn't do great. I mean, the most they got was in Portugal game 500 points. Oh no, the Finland game they got 600 points. But besides that, most of their points were relatively low. They're one of the first ones to die. They're more, unfortunately, there's no point in taking them in the new book unless you enjoy a glutton for punishment. 5th place goes to my Feral Orcs. I was actually surprised because it's a big drop off between the next point versus the Feral Orcs. Feral Orcs, though, did grab objective twice, and they have 1,800 points in my damage calculations. Baxter the Pyromaniac's ending up in 4th place. He got 3,075 points. He is the MVP in this round, even though he died on round 4, because he just took out the altars. He zoned a whole side with Koopa, and he literally just, he helped me win this game. The Goblin Horde they took a drop this round, but they ended up getting 3rd place, which I just find ridiculous. 3,400 points. They were always in the right place, right time. They always help combo charges, and if they didn't combo charge, they're just gonna shoot you with bows. This unit does exist in the new book, which is something to at least, yay. King Koopa took 2nd place, and again, this is just, it's sad. It's sad to see Koopa go, but he has 3,426. He barely beat the Goblins by 13 points, and unfortunately, the new books, they took out his Stubborn, they took out his Multi-Wounder, they took out the guy on top without him being the general, and I just refuse to run around with a Leadership 6 Spider. Anyways, and then Dread's Iron Boys. Dread's Iron Boys took the top spot with the Mickanox Totem, with General Dread, Warboss Dread, Iron Tooth, and the Shady Shanking. So they took a total of 3,644 points. They were the top score of my list. All right, so real quick, I went over that. Here's a picture of Aerowax taking the mats. They gave us the mats from the games. They didn't want them because obviously there'll be a new map pack next year, so they're probably going to make new maps. So they gave away the maps, the mats of the maps. Aerowax took one from our team. My brother took another one. I don't know who took the rest, to be fair. I gotta think, before I forget, there's a couple things that I put in here. But I gotta thank Kent, the Lens Viking, for his pictures. Also the TRC, because I took some of their pictures from their Team France and Canada. So Alex Harrison, thank you for taking photos. And of course, I gotta thank Amanda. Went over that, and unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to hang out with Herminard, and that kind of bugs me. I really wanted to hang out with Herminard. And it really bugged Herminard. He ended up buying us a dinner on his way. He left town already, and the next day we were just really bummed that we couldn't hang out with him. And he paid for a dinner for me and Amanda to eat at the steakhouse. So we ate there in the name of Herminard. And then I gotta say, I'm gonna say it right now, because last year I got flank charged a lot because I did not have movement trays from movementtray.com. So I gotta give credit to where it's due. My friend Klaus, he helped me out with my movement trays. I love them. They did a great job. He helped me
get new movement trays for the new army, the new books, and the big hordes of orcs. Which, you know, I kind of called him on the spot, like, hey, can you give me some big ass movement trays? And he's like, okay. So he custom made them, and he wants to see them in action. They will be in action in the next video in Canada at the Ford City Fracas. Yeah, besides that, Amanda and I went sightseeing, and we enjoyed Amsterdam. Like I said, it's just kind of bittersweet. It was really bittersweet because we know that this is probably the last time we're going to see a lot of you guys. So, and it was just kind of like, I didn't see a big party. Like I said, in Serbia year, there was a big party, like a finale to just like say goodbye to everybody. But here it was just kind of lackluster. We just kind of walked out of the hotel and got in a car or a bus and just kind of went to our hotel. And it just missed that feel of ETC. And I know I'm not the only one. There's other people who have messaged me about it. And yeah, it kind of sucks. Anyways, I'm going to miss my friends. I'm going to miss Lucas the most. He's been with me since day one of Team Mexico. Obviously, I'm going to keep in contact with him. And of course, hopefully Lucas and Hermanard and other more of you guys come to our wedding. We're probably going to have it in Mexico, hopefully. And yeah. So guys, that's it for this video. That's it for my ETC journey, and I will be posting more videos coming up soon about the Ford City Fracas, as well as the North American Masters and Strength in Numbers. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you next time. Take care, and